Do you feel it? That quiet tension when you think about money. A part of you, the spiritual part, knows that you are meant for a life of expansion, of freedom, of abundance, and yet another part of you flinches. It pulls back. It whispers that wanting money is greedy, that it's materialistic, that to be spiritual, you must somehow be above the physical world of bills and payments and bank accounts. And so you live in a paradox, caught between a desire for financial peace and a guilt for that very desire. What if I told you this conflict is not a sign of your weakness, but the very crucible in which your greatest power can be forged? Welcome, I am Elias Vance, and you have found your way to the Abundance Alchemist. What you are about to experience is not merely an audiobook. It is an alchemical process. It is a guide to dissolving that inner conflict, to healing that wound, and to transforming the leaden weight of money guilt into the radiant gold of spiritual and financial alignment. Over our journey together, we will explore 8 sacred practical rituals. These are not superstitions or wishful thinking. They are tangible actions designed to rewire your subconscious mind, recalibrate your energetic signature, and fundamentally change your relationship with the energy we call money. You will learn why the greatest financial block is never in your bank account, but in your spirit. And you will be given the tools to dissolve it once and for all. So find a quiet space, allow yourself to be present, and let us begin the great work. This is your journey to embodying the truth that abundance is not something you acquire. It is something you become. Chapter 1. The Alchemist's Paradox, Reconciling Spirit and Wealth. Let us begin by acknowledging the room we are all sitting in. It is a room built from a deep and pervasive belief system, one that has been passed down through generations, through cultures, and through spiritual traditions. The belief that there is an inherent conflict between the sacred and the secular, between God and gold, between enlightenment and economics. This is the alchemist's paradox. You feel it, don't you? You've practiced affirmations, you've visualized, you may even have a solid understanding of the law of attraction. You do the work. But when the time comes to send a big invoice, or ask for a raise, or set a price for your sacred work, that old feeling creeps in, a tightness in the chest, a quiet whisper of, am I being greedy? Or is this unspiritual? This conflict is the single greatest saboteur of prosperity for conscious, heart-centered people. It's a silent engine of self-sabotage running in the background of your life. It ensures that even if money does come in, it doesn't stay. Or if it stays, it comes with a heavy dose of anxiety and guilt, preventing you from ever truly enjoying the freedom it's meant to provide. I remember speaking with a client, a wonderfully gifted energy healer named Clara. On paper, she was doing everything right. She had a growing practice, happy clients, a beautiful mission, but she was perpetually struggling. She would undercharge for her sessions, give away her time for free, and feel a deep sense of shame whenever she had to discuss payment. Her bank account was a mirror of her inner conflict. Elias, she told me, her voice trembling slightly, I feel like I have to choose. I can either serve my clients with an open heart, or I can be financially stable. I don't know how to have both. Her story is not unique. It is the story of millions of spiritual seekers who have been taught, directly or indirectly, that poverty is holy and wealth is wicked. We've been fed parables of rich men unable to enter heaven and of ascetics who renounce all worldly possessions to find enlightenment. And while these stories hold profound truths about attachment and ego, their meaning has been distorted. They have been twisted into a doctrine of lack. But let's apply a bit of alchemy here. Let's look deeper. The problem has never been money itself. Money is an amplifier. It is a form of neutral creative energy. That is all. It simply makes you more of what you already are. If you are generous, wealth will make you more generous. If you are fearful, wealth will amplify your fear. If you are compassionate, wealth will give you a greater capacity for compassion. The spiritual masters who warned against wealth were not warning against currency. They were warning against a state of consciousness, a consciousness of attachment, of identifying your self-worth with your net worth, of allowing the pursuit of material gain to eclipse the pursuit of inner truth. The paradox, then, is not a true paradox. It is a misunderstanding. The real work of spiritual finance is not to renounce money, but to renounce the consciousness of lack and fear that we have projected onto it. It is to heal our relationship with this energy so that we can wield it as a tool for good, for our own expansion, and for the expansion of others. Think of it this way. Water can sustain life or it can drown you. Fire can warm a home or it can burn it to the ground. The energy itself is neutral. The power and the danger lies in our relationship to it, in the consciousness with which we approach it. For too long, spiritually minded people have been taught to fear the fire of financial energy. So we stay in the cold. We tell ourselves it is more noble, more pure. But the world does not need more well-intentioned, broke, spiritual people. The world needs conscious, heart-centered alchemists who have mastered both the inner and outer realms. People who can build sustainable businesses, fund important causes, create beautiful art, and provide for their families with joy and ease, all while remaining deeply connected to their spiritual core. So how do we begin to bridge this gap? The first step is a radical reframe. We must stop seeing money as a test of our spirituality and start seeing it as an expression of it. Every dollar you earn is a certificate of appreciation for the value you have provided to someone else. Every bill you pay is an energetic exchange, a way of honoring the work and energy of another human being. When you see it this way, commerce becomes a sacred dance. Your work becomes your ministry. Your income becomes a reflection of the life force you are circulating in the world. If you are a healer, your income is a measure of the healing you have facilitated. If you are an artist, it's a measure of the beauty and inspiration you have brought into the world. If you build homes, it's a measure of the safety and security you have created for families. This is not about greed. This is about flow. This is about value. This is about recognizing that your spiritual worth and your worldly contribution are not separate. They are two sides of the same golden coin. Your homework, your inner work from this first chapter is simple but profound. I want you to take a moment today, find a quiet space, and ask yourself this question. If I truly believed that my financial abundance was a direct reflection of my spiritual contribution to the world, what would I have to change? Don't rush to an answer. Just sit with the question. Let it percolate in your subconscious. Feel the resistance that comes up. The buts and the what-ifs, notice them without judgment. This resistance is the lead we are about to transmute. It is the raw material for our great work. Acknowledge it, honor it, and know that you are finally on the path to healing it. The paradox is an illusion, and we are here to dissolve it. Chapter 2. The Energetic Blueprint. Why Rituals Forge Reality. Let us begin by acknowledging the room we are all sitting in. It is a room built from a deep and pervasive belief system, one that has been passed down through generations, through cultures, and through spiritual traditions. The belief that there is an inherent conflict between the sacred and the secular, between God and gold, between enlightenment and economics. This is the alchemist's paradox. You feel it, don't you? You've practiced affirmations, you've visualized. You may even have a solid understanding of the law of attraction. You do the work, but when the time comes to send a big invoice, or ask for a raise, or set a price for your sacred work, that old feeling creeps in. A tightness in the chest, a quiet whisper of, am I being greedy? Or is this unspiritual? This conflict is the single greatest saboteur of prosperity for conscious, heart-centered people. It's a silent engine of self-sabotage running in the background of your life. It ensures that even if money does come in, it doesn't stay. Or if it stays, it comes with a heavy dose of anxiety and guilt, preventing you from ever truly enjoying the freedom it's meant to provide. I remember speaking with a client, a wonderfully gifted energy healer named Clara. On paper, she was doing everything right. She had a growing practice, happy clients, a beautiful mission. But she was perpetually struggling. She would undercharge for her sessions, give away her time for free, and feel a deep sense of shame whenever she had to discuss payment. Her bank account was a mirror of her inner conflict. "Elias," she told me, her voice trembling slightly, "I feel like I have to choose. I can either serve my clients with an open heart, or I can be financially stable. I don't know how to have both." Her story is not unique. It is the story of millions of spiritual seekers who have been taught directly or indirectly that poverty is holy and wealth is wicked. We've been fed parables of rich men unable to enter heaven, and of ascetics who renounce all worldly possessions to find enlightenment. And while these stories hold profound truths about attachment and ego, their meaning has been distorted. They have been twisted into a doctrine of lack. But let's apply a bit of alchemy here. Let's look deeper. The problem has never been money itself. Money is an amplifier. It is a form of neutral, creative energy. That is all. It simply makes you more of what you already are. If you are generous, wealth will make you more generous. If you are fearful, wealth will amplify your fear. If you are compassionate, wealth will give you a greater capacity for compassion. The spiritual masters who warned against wealth were not warning against currency. They were warning against a state of consciousness, a consciousness of attachment, of identifying your self-worth with your net worth, of allowing the pursuit of material gain to eclipse the pursuit of inner truth. The paradox, then, is not a true paradox. It is a misunderstanding. The real work of spiritual finance is not to renounce money, but to renounce the consciousness of lack and fear that we have projected onto it. It is to heal our relationship with this energy so that we can wield it as a tool for good, for our own expansion, and for the expansion of others. Think of it this way. Water can sustain life or it can drown you. Fire can warm a home or it can burn it to the ground. The energy itself is neutral. The power and the danger lies in our relationship to it, in the consciousness with which we approach it. For too long, spiritually minded people have been taught to fear the fire of financial energy. So we stay in the cold. We tell ourselves it is more noble, more pure, but the world does not need more well-intentioned, broke spiritual people. The world needs conscious, heart-centered alchemists who have mastered both the inner and outer realms. People who can build sustainable businesses, fund important causes, create beautiful art, and provide for their families with joy and ease, all while remaining deeply connected to their spiritual core. So how do we begin to bridge this gap between spirit and wealth, between our inner values and our outward prosperity? How do we reconcile this apparent paradox? The first step is a radical reframe. We must stop seeing money as a test of our spirituality and start seeing it as an expression of it. Every dollar you earn is a certificate of appreciation for the value you have provided to someone else. Every bill you pay is an energetic exchange, a way of honoring the work and energy of another human being. When you see it this way, commerce becomes a sacred dance. Your work becomes your ministry. Your income becomes a reflection of the life force you are circulating in the world. If you are a healer, your income is a measure of the healing you have facilitated. If you are an artist, it's a measure of the beauty and inspiration you have brought into the world. If you build homes, it's a measure of the safety and security you have created for families. This is not about greed. This is about flow. This is about value. This is about recognizing that your spiritual worth and your worldly contribution are not separate. They are two sides of the same golden coin, and this is where we introduce the power of rituals. You might hear the word ritual and think of ancient ceremonies, complex incantations, or something purely symbolic. But in the context of alchemy and in the context of true personal transformation, rituals are far more potent. They are the bridge between our conscious intentions and our subconscious programming. They are the actionable steps that solidify new beliefs and behaviors into our very being. Think of it like this: your mind is like a garden. Your thoughts and beliefs are the seeds you plant, but rituals are the diligent watering, the tending, the sunlight, and the fertile soil that ensure those seeds grow into flourishing plants. Without consistent action, without repeated practice, even the most beautiful seeds of intention can wither and die. Why do rituals have such immense power? It comes down to the science of how our brains and energy systems work. Our subconscious mind, the vast reservoir of our ingrained beliefs, habits, and emotions, doesn't respond as readily to abstract ideas or fleeting thoughts. It responds to repetition, to emotional intensity, and to consistent, tangible actions. Rituals, by their very nature, engage all of these. A ritual is a repeated action, often imbued with emotional significance, that helps to imprint a new pattern onto our subconscious. It's how we build new neural pathways. It's how we energetically recalibrate our entire system. It's how we move from knowing something intellectually to embodying it fully. Consider the concept of money blocks. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are energetic imprints stored in our energy field and our subconscious. They are like invisible walls that prevent financial abundance from flowing into our lives. And how do we dismantle these walls? Not by wishing them away, but by actively, consciously, and repeatedly engaging in practices that reprogram our energetic blueprint. This is why practical money rituals are so crucial. They are the tools that allow us to literally reshape our relationship with money, transforming shame into forgiveness, scarcity into gratitude, and unworthiness into inherent deservingness. The very structure of our brain is designed to form habits through repetition. When we engage in a ritual consistently, we are essentially teaching our brain a new way of being, a new way of relating to money. This is the essence of transforming money energy. It's not about changing the universe. It's about changing our energetic relationship with the universe. And it's this internal shift that then creates tangible external changes. If you've ever asked yourself, why can't I seem to hold on to money no matter how much I earn? Or why do I always sabotage my financial success? The answer lies in the energetic blueprint that has been laid down by unconscious patterns. Rituals are the blueprints for a new, abundant reality. Think about the ancient practices of meditation or prayer. These are rituals that have been used for millennia to foster inner peace and spiritual connection. They are effective because they create a consistent, focused engagement with a particular state of being. We are applying that same principle to your financial life. We are not just talking about abstract concepts like abundance mindset. We are creating the practical, repeatable actions that build that mindset from the ground up. We are forging a new energetic blueprint for wealth. This is why the work we are about to embark on is so profound. It's not about quick fixes or superficial affirmations. It's about deep alchemical transformation. It's about understanding that the universe responds to your energetic vibration, to the consistent signals you send. And rituals are the most powerful way to ensure those signals are ones of abundance, worthiness, and divine flow. They are the building blocks of your financial alchemy. They are the tangible pathway to financial independence and true economic sovereignty. So as we delve into the specific rituals, remember this core principle. Consistency is key. The power is not in the complexity of the ritual, but in the commitment and the heart you bring to it, repeated over time. This is how we lay down the energetic blueprint for a life of sustainable prosperity consciousness. This is how we move beyond just wanting wealth to becoming the embodiment of abundance itself. This is how conscious stewardship of financial energy becomes not a chore, but an integrated way of being. Your homework, your inner work from this first chapter is simple but profound. I want you to take a moment today, find a quiet space, and ask yourself this question. If I truly believed that my financial abundance was a direct reflection of my spiritual contribution to the world, what would I have to change? Don't rush to an answer. Just sit with the question. Let it percolate in your subconscious. Feel the resistance that comes up. The buts and the what-ifs, notice them without judgment. This resistance is the lead we're about to transmute. It is the raw material for our great work. Acknowledge it, honor it, and know that you are finally on the path to healing it. The paradox is an illusion, and we are here to dissolve it. Let's move on, shall we? Because now that we understand why rituals are so powerful, we can dive into the specific practices that will begin to forge your new energetic blueprint for wealth. Chapter 3. Ritual 1. The Sacred Ledger. A practice for releasing money. Shame, let's talk about shame. Money shame. It's a heavy cloak that many spiritually minded people wear, often without even realizing it. It's that hot flush of embarrassment when you have to admit you're struggling. It's the guilt you feel when you want something nice. It's the deep-seated belief that your financial state is a reflection of some moral failing. This shame acts like an energetic lock, preventing abundance from flowing freely. Our first ritual is designed to unlock that shame, the sacred ledger. This isn't just about tracking numbers. It's about transforming your emotional relationship with money. It's a two-part practice. Part 1. The Forgiveness Ledger. For the first week, your task is to acquire a beautiful new journal. This will be your sacred ledger. Each day, I want you to set aside 5 to 10 minutes. Open its pages and simply write down, without judgment, any past financial mistake or regret that comes to mind. Maybe it's a bad investment, a time you overspent impulsively, a missed opportunity, a period of deep debt that still haunts you. Anything that triggers that familiar sting of money shame. For each entry, next to it, write this phrase: I forgive myself. I was doing the best I could with the consciousness I had at the time. This is not an intellectual exercise. As you write, I want you to feel it. If you can, visualize yourself offering that phrase to your past self. Breathe into the sensation of releasing that burden. Forgive the part of you that made that choice, knowing that it was operating from a limited understanding or a place of scarcity. It's like a spiritual detox for your financial past. It's about acknowledging where you've been, but choosing to release the energetic charge that keeps you bound to it. Part 2. The Gratitude Ledger now. For the following week, you'll shift gears entirely. For every single dollar that leaves your possession, you will write it down in your sacred ledger. But here's the alchemy. Next to each expenditure, you will write a note of genuine gratitude for the value you received. Let's say you buy a coffee for $5. You write 5. You write 5 for coffee. Then you add, thank you for this moment of warmth and energy, or you pay your electricity bill. And not for electricity, you add, thank you for the light that allows Meto Red to work and to create safely in my home. You pay your rent, 100 for electricity. You add, thank you for the light that allows Meto Red to work and to create safely in my home. You pay your rent, 1,500 for rent. You add, thank you for this safe, comfortable haven for my family and me. This practice transforms spending from an act of lack, of money leaving and never returning, into an act of appreciative exchange. It's a powerful way to honor the flow of energy. Every time you spend money, you are participating in a vast network of human effort and creation. By expressing gratitude, you acknowledge that value and invite more of it into your life. You are actively healing the anxiety and shame that often surrounds money outflow. You're teaching your subconscious that money leaving your possession is not a loss, but a sacred exchange that creates more abundance in your life. This sacred ledger ritual is foundational. It recalibrates your core relationship with money, transforming shame into forgiveness and lack into gratitude. It's the first vital step in clearing the energetic pathway for wealth to flow. Chapter 4. Ritual 2. The Mirror of Worth. A practice for embodying deservingness. We've begun to clear the past with forgiveness and gratitude. Now we must confront the deepest root of many financial blocks. The subconscious belief that we are not worthy of wealth. This isn't just a thought. It's a deeply embedded energetic signature. It screams, "I am not enough." And the universe, in its perfect mirroring, responds by keeping abundance just out of reach. This ritual is called the Mirror of Worth. It's simple, yet profoundly powerful. It requires courage and a willingness to face yourself, quite literally. Every single morning, without exception, you must stand before a mirror. Look yourself directly in the eye and speak these affirmations aloud with conviction, even if you don't feel it yet. I am worthy of all the abundance the universe has to offer. My worth is inherent and infinite. I am open and receptive to wealth in all its forms. Now, here's the crucial part. Elias Vance would never ask you to just recite words. As you speak these truths, pay close attention to the internal resistance. That quiet, nagging voice in the back of your mind that whispers, "You're not good enough, that you don't deserve it." The one that makes your stomach clench when you look at a price tag. You might feel a flush of embarrassment, a surge of doubt. Instead of fighting that voice, breathe into it. Acknowledge it. Say to that inner critic, "I see you. I hear you. But I am choosing a new truth now." You are not denying your feelings. You are choosing to align with a higher truth. You are planting seeds of a new identity. I remember working with a client, a talented graphic designer named Sarah. On paper, she was doing everything right. She had the skills, the portfolio, the testimonials. But she constantly found herself undervaluing her work, accepting low-paying projects, and feeling a deep, gnawing sense of not being good enough to command higher fees. When we started the Mirror of Worth ritual, she confessed, she could barely look herself in the eye for the first week. The affirmations felt like a lie, but she persisted. By the third week, something shifted. She noticed her posture changed. She could hold her own gaze with a new sense of confidence. Her internal dialogue began to change, and soon she found herself confidently quoting higher prices, and clients were agreeing. Her external reality finally began to catch up with her internal shift. This ritual directly rewires your subconscious self-image. It replaces the deeply ingrained script of "I am not enough" with the empowering truth of "I am worthy." It's about embodying deservingness. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. The more you speak these words with presence, the more they become your reality. You are not just affirming a desire, you are declaring a new identity. And as you feel that shift, as you begin to embody this new truth of your own worthiness, you may find this work resonating so deeply that you feel called to share it. If you know someone who is struggling with this same paradox, who needs to hear this message, I encourage you to share this audiobook with them. The simple act of sharing is an act of abundance in itself, a declaration that you believe in this transformative power. Now let us move to our next ritual, which will further cultivate this abundant energy. Chapter 5, Ritual 3, The Current of Gratitude, a practice for cultivating flow. We've tackled shame and unworthiness. Now let's talk about abundance itself. For many, abundance feels like a finite thing, a static amount that you either have or you don't. You hoard it, you protect it, you fear its loss. But true abundance is not static. It's dynamic. It's a constant, vibrant flow of energy. Our third ritual, the current of gratitude, is designed to cultivate this vital flow. It's about shifting your perception and your energetic response to money leaving your possession. We've touched on this in the sacred ledger, but this ritual takes it to the next level. The core idea is simple. What you appreciate, appreciates. When you flood the act of outflow with gratitude, you energetically signal to the universe that you are a conduit for abundance, not a dam. You interrupt the pattern of lack and resentment that often surrounds expenses, especially bills. So here's the practice. Whenever you're about to pay a bill, rent, electricity, your phone, anything at all, pause. Take the bill in your hands or look at the digital payment screen. Take a deep breath, and then genuinely from your heart, feel gratitude for the service or product that this payment represents. Instead of thinking, "Ugh, I have to pay this," reframe it. Think, "Thank you for the warm, safe home this rent provides." Or thank you for the light that allows me to read, to work, to create safely in my home during the night. Or thank you for the connection this phone provides, allowing me to communicate with loved ones and share my gifts with the world. This is not about pretending. It's about consciously choosing a higher energetic frequency. It's about recognizing the inherent value and energy exchange in every transaction. When you approach your expenses with dread and scarcity, you create a contracted, closed-off energy field. Money leaves, and it feels like a wound. You're essentially saying, I don't have enough, and I'm afraid of losing what little I do have. But when you approach these same exchanges with gratitude, you create an expansive, open, and magnetic energy. You're saying, I participate in this flow of universal energy with appreciation. I honor the value I receive, and I trust that more value will return. I recall a friend who used to absolutely despise paying her car insurance. It was a significant expense, and she always felt a knot of anxiety. She'd grudgingly click pay and immediately try to forget about it. We worked on this ritual, and for her, it was about appreciating the safety. She started saying, thank you for the peace of mind and safety this insurance provides for my family on the road. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But that small shift in perspective, that infusion of gratitude, fundamentally changed her energetic relationship with that outflow. Within months, she found unexpected opportunities for income and a greater sense of financial ease. Not because she was paying less, but because she was feeling more abundant in her exchanges. This ritual transforms the act of outflow into an act of participation in the grand cosmic circulation of energy. It teaches you that you are not just a consumer, but a conscious co-creator of your financial reality. By consciously cultivating gratitude for every exchange, you are actively opening the channels for more abundance to flow into your life. It's about moving from a place of scarcity and resistance to a place of flow and trust. Chapter 6. Transmuting the lead, healing your subconscious money blocks. We've laid the groundwork with forgiveness, embodied worthiness, and cultivated gratitude. Now we're ready to go deeper into the very core of what keeps us stuck, our subconscious money blocks. These are the hidden, often unconscious programs and traumas that actively sabotage our financial well-being. They are the lead in our alchemical process, heavy, dense, and seemingly impossible to transform. What are these blocks? They can manifest in many forms. Ancestral beliefs. Think about your family history. Were there generations of poverty? Did money cause conflict? Were there vows of poverty taken by relatives that are still energetically echoing through your lineage? These deeply ingrained beliefs can operate on a level far below conscious awareness. Past life vows. In some cases, beliefs around money scarcity can stem from experiences in previous lifetimes. Vows of poverty or traumatic financial losses can create energetic imprints that affect your current life. Traumatic financial events, major financial losses in this lifetime, a business failure, a divorce settlement that left you depleted, a significant debt incurred due to unforeseen circumstances can create deep, energetic wounds. Conditional self-worth. The insidious belief that your worth is tied to your financial status. If you're not earning enough, you're not worthy. This is a powerful block that ties your identity to your bank balance. These blocks are not enemies to be fought and destroyed. They are wounded parts of your consciousness that need to be acknowledged, understood, and healed. Our approach here is energetic transmutation. Imagine holding a heavy, dark piece of lead in your hands. It feels dense, cold, and inert. That lead represents your subconscious money block. Now imagine a brilliant, golden alchemical light, the light of pure consciousness, divine love, and infinite potential, pouring into your hands. This light doesn't fight the lead. It surrounds it, permeates it, and gently, lovingly transforms its frequency. It doesn't destroy the lead. It transmutes it into pure gold. Here's how to begin this practice. Identify a block. Bring to mind a specific money block you suspect is holding you back. It could be a general feeling of, I can never have enough, or a specific fear like, if I make too much money, something bad will happen. Visualize the block in a relaxed state. Perhaps after a few minutes of deep breathing, visualize that block as a tangible form, a heavy ball of lead, a dark cloud, a tangled knot, residing within your body. Where do you feel it? In your chest? Your stomach? Your root chakra? Pour in the golden light. Now visualize the pure golden alchemical light. Imagine it flowing from the universe, through your crown, and into that block. Let it fill every atom of the dense energy. Observe the transformation. As the light permeates the block, notice what happens. Does it soften? Does its color change? Does it become lighter? The goal isn't to force it, but to allow the divine light of consciousness to do its alchemical work, transforming fear into wisdom, scarcity into abundance. Release and integrate. Once you feel the transformation is complete, imagine releasing the newly transmuted energy, the gold, back into the universe or into your own being. Now, as a source of wisdom and strength, this process requires patience and consistent practice. The subconscious mind is deeply ingrained, but with each session, you are loosening the grip of these old programs. You are not simply trying to push negative thoughts away. You are actively transforming the energetic root of the problem. I remember a client, David, who held a deep ancestral block related to his family's history of financial struggle. He'd inherited a story that the family never prospered. When he applied this transmutation ritual, he visualized the block as a dark, heavy chain around his financial heart. Through consistent practice, the golden light began to break the links of that chain, transforming the inherited story of lack into a new narrative of inherited resilience and a future of prosperity. It wasn't about rejecting his family history, but about alchemically transmuting its densest energies into a source of his own empowered future. This chapter is about empowering you to directly address the hidden, yet most potent forces shaping your financial destiny. You are not a victim of your subconscious. You are its alchemist. Chapter 7. The Art of Inspired Action. Moving beyond the hustle, we've done the inner work. We've healed past wounds, embodied our worthiness, cultivated gratitude, and begun transmuting our deepest subconscious blocks. But now, a crucial question arises. What about the actual doing? What about the practical steps we need to take to build wealth? In today's culture, we're bombarded with messages about hustle culture, the idea that you must constantly be grinding, pushing, striving, and sacrificing to achieve success. This approach, however, often stems from a place of fear and scarcity. It's driven by the subconscious message, I don't have enough, so I must constantly work myself to the bone to acquire it. From an alchemical perspective, hustle culture is about forcing outcomes. It's trying to physically muscle your way into abundance, often leading to burnout, exhaustion, and a feeling of never being enough. It's like trying to force a river to flow uphill. The path to sustainable, soul-aligned prosperity lies in the art of inspired action. What's the difference? Hustle comes from a place of fear, lack, and desperation. It feels heavy, draining, and often disconnected from your true desires. Inspired action, on the other hand, comes from a place of alignment, intuition, and allowing. It feels effortless, energizing, and in sync with the natural flow of the universe. It's when you feel a pull, a nudge, a sudden idea that seems to arrive fully formed, and acting on it feels not like a chore, but like a joyous unfolding. Think about it. When have you had your best ideas? Often, it's not when you're frantically brainstorming under pressure. It's in the shower, on a quiet walk, during a moment of meditation, or even in a dream. These are moments when your mind is quiet enough to receive intuitive guidance. The rituals we've explored, the sacred ledger, the mirror of worth, the current of gratitude, and the energetic transmutation are all designed to quiet the noise of scarcity and fear They create the inner space necessary to hear and trust your intuition. So how do you cultivate inspired action? Cultivate inner silence. Continue your daily rituals. The more you integrate them, the quieter your inner critic becomes, and the louder your intuitive voice grows. Listen for the nudge. Pay attention to those sudden urges, those flashes of insight, those compelling curiosities. Do you feel a strong pull to call a specific person, to read a certain book, to explore a new skill? These are the whispers of inspired action. Trust and act gently. This is key. When you receive an intuitive nudge, the next step is to act on it. But here's the distinction. You act with trust, not with frantic desperation. You don't need to know the entire plan or see the ultimate outcome. You just take the next inspired step. I remember when I first felt the nudge to start this channel. It wasn't a business plan. It was a quiet, insistent feeling that I needed to share these principles. I didn't know exactly how it would unfold or what content I'd create. I just knew I had to start. I took that inspired action, and the rest, as they say, unfolded naturally. Each step felt right. Each piece of content flowed from the last, and the community grew organically. It was a stark contrast to my earlier attempts at building things that felt forced and unsustainable. The goal is to move from a mindset of, I have to make this happen, to I am guided to participate in this unfolding. It's about co-creating with the universe, not wrestling with it. So as you continue your journey, ask yourself, am I hustling or am I flowing? Am I forcing or am I allowing? The more you align with inspired action, the more effortless and joyful your path to financial abundance will become. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter with divine guidance. And this is a profound point of transformation for so many. The moment you shift from hustling to inspired action, everything changes. I'm deeply curious to know how this distinction lands with you. Pause for a moment and go down to the comments. Let me know, what is one inspired action you have been ignoring? Declaring it is the first step to acting on it. I will be reading your reflections and cheering you on. Chapter 8. The Conscious Steward. Aligning wealth with your soul's code. We've reached the summit of our alchemical journey. We've moved beyond the paradox, healed our inner landscape, and learned to act in alignment with universal flow. Now the question becomes, what do we do with this awakened abundance? How do we ensure that the wealth we attract serves not just ourselves, but the greater good? This is where you step into your role as a conscious steward. This is about aligning your wealth with your soul's code, ensuring that your financial life is a vibrant expression of your deepest values and purpose. It's not just about attracting wealth. It's about being the kind of person for whom abundance is a natural, integrated part of a meaningful life. Being a conscious steward involves three key areas. Conscious spending. This goes beyond mere budgeting. It's about making intentional choices about where your money goes. Ask yourself, does this purchase align with my values? Does it contribute to the kind of world I want to live in? Are the companies I support ethical, sustainable, and aligned with my soul's purpose? This means supporting local businesses, choosing fair trade products, investing in companies that are making a positive impact, or simply buying things that bring genuine joy and utility into your life without excess. Every dollar spent is a vote for the world you want to create. Soul-aligned investing. Investing is where your money can truly multiply and serve your greater vision. But soul-aligned investing is not just about financial return. It's about aligning your investments with your values. Do you care about environmental sustainability, social justice, innovation in conscious technology? Seek out investments that reflect these principles. This might involve ethical funds, impact investing, or even investing directly in businesses or projects that you believe are building a better future. Your capital becomes a powerful force for good when it's directed by your soul's code. Celebrating wins. This is often overlooked, but it's incredibly important. As you achieve financial milestones, big or small, celebrate them. This isn't about ego, it's about energetic acknowledgement. When you celebrate, you are sending a powerful signal to the universe. I recognize and appreciate this abundance. More of this, please. It reinforces the positive energy of inflow and growth. Whether it's hitting a savings goal, closing a profitable deal, or simply experiencing a period of unexpected financial ease, take time to acknowledge it. Perhaps with a special meal, a meaningful purchase, or a moment of quiet gratitude. Wealth, when consciously stewarded, becomes a powerful tool for transformation. It allows you to support your passions and purpose, fund your creative projects, your spiritual practices, or your philanthropic endeavors, provide security and freedom, create a life free from financial anxiety, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Serve humanity, fund charitable causes, support those in need, and contribute to a more equitable and abundant world. Your financial journey is not just about acquiring wealth. It's about becoming the person who can wisely and powerfully steward that wealth. It's about making your entire financial life an integrated expression of your soul's purpose. This is the ultimate alchemical transformation, not just turning lead into gold, but turning the energy of money into a force for consciousness, contribution, and divine expression in the world. You are not just attracting abundance, you are becoming abundance. And as you do, you are contributing to the expansion of a more prosperous and harmonious reality for all. Outro. Embodying your financial alchemy. And so, we arrive not at an end, but at a new beginning. We began this journey together in the heart of a paradox, feeling the tension between the sacred and the financial. We have since walked a path of transformation, learning that this conflict is an illusion. We have explored the power of ritual, not as a superstition, but as a profound tool for recoding our energetic blueprint. You now possess the keys, the sacred ledger to heal the shame of the past, the mirror of worth to embody the deservingness that is your birthright, the current of gratitude to transform lack into flow. You have learned to transmute the lead of your subconscious blocks, to move with the grace of inspired action, and finally, to step into your power as a conscious steward of abundance. But knowledge is only a map. The real journey begins now, in the application. Do not let this be just another audiobook you listen to. Let this be the moment your transformation truly began. Choose one ritual, just one, and commit to it for the next 30 days. Embody it, live it. The universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are being. As our time together concludes, your journey continues. On the left side of your screen, you will find our Start Here, the Foundations of Abundance playlist, a perfect place to deepen the core principles we discussed today. And on the right, you will find a video the universe has selected specifically for your journey next. Trust the guidance. Allow your intuition to choose your next step. And of course, subscribe to become a fellow alchemist on this path. This is Elias Vance reminding you the greatest wealth you will ever own is the knowledge of who you truly are.